I find it strange that media continues to challenge me, who is a victim of an implant by a neuropsychiatrist from Attica State Prison when I was a 9-year-old in Pittsburgh. Michael Reagan, we know, can never get enough of his favorite scene. But I still find it strange that hybrid warfare is launched against my computer by Twitter and Fox and so on, promoting Bernie Sanders, for example. But they do, and so I'll continue to respond for the historical record. And I want to remind people that if this is cultivated by Smithsonian, that they are partners with Schulman and Ono. They have no intention of ever compensating me for torture or anything else. They're in cahoots with the people who pulled this. The determined media is and Smithsonian are determined to pull off and justify and allow and finalize a pornographic genocide. So, I mean, I still find it strange that they would insist that even though they refuse to investigate the criminals who were responsible, they would insist on continuing to challenge me, but they do. So I'll tell you some more about it. Bernie S., they have a name index. I went to Sanderson High School when I was evacuated from Pittsburgh. Bernie S. was a signifier in the postal union. Now we know from the letters that the postal union was involved in all of this, as the murder of 3 more Kennedys makes clear as well. Um, Out of Bernie Slobodniak, which is a very interesting choice of names to represent an attempt to justify genocide pornography in the name of the Beatlemaniac, Slobodniak. And they had people beating my brains in and saying, well, stop if you smoke reefer. I mean, they were really, really getting at me when I was crying because of cocaine as a 12-year-old, 13-year-old. They forced me to use inhalants. They gave me they tortured me. And I was in a pre-Caesar trance by one of their Svengalis. Penis Gabriel was saying, pulling at the papers from the drawers to slide smooth. I mean, he obviously was a real worm tongue in the operation, because you can't even repeat him without having that sort of glissando of his tonsillings. But I hadn't had seizures, and I was being dunked in Slobodniak goo, and they were extruding and stuff, and it was like a dare, and I was like, well, somehow these people are justifying pornographic genocide. And I told a couple of people what was really happening. I mean, a lot. They had people named Miles, both women and women, who were lying through my face, making up all kinds of stories. They were very degrading people, making up all kinds of stories from Pittsburgh's corruption apparatus. But they had Jeanette Blackstone going when I mentioned my girlfriend, and they're putting the prime purine notes preying on my deafness and stuff. But I tried to explain to a sergeant from the police forces who's probably very upset about what happened in Texas because she really gets worked up when children are injured. I'm sorry about that, man. We all are. D'Ambrosio had wanted to know, why did you contest? I was following the leader. And I tried to explain to her, yeah, the reason I got in so deep that it was actually a productive investigation was because I kept telling myself this can't be real. Literally, this can't be real. I mean, and they were Bernie's gang, which all, John Truman is the good guy because he's Jewish, and they had this Goebbels icon for the Jewish Defense League on Mount Desert Island. And so it's like the Fox News was chart, 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 CNN was chart, chart, chart. Zelensky can't be a Nazi because he's Jewish. Well, the truth is that those black Nazis now and Jewish Nazis, it's an arc of Nazism. I don't want to get into anything about Zelensky. Maybe when peace comes around, I'll be willing to discuss them. But the point is that these people just tortured, and they were justifying using me as an icon of a pornographic genocide. And I got in very deep telling myself this can't be real. And there were people I was mixed up with in this college just were a lot more criminal than I took them for. A lot more.